Hello everyone, Storm 101 here. Today we'll be taking a quick look into the tropics here. You can tell the Eastern Pacific is getting very active out there. In the Atlantic, we got Invest 95L to watch as well. But we're going to go ahead and quickly get started with the Eastern Pacific here. You can tell it is extremely active. What's looking like right now, we actually have a hurricane out there, Elida. I think that's how you pronounce it. With 100-mile-per-hour winds, pressure 975 millibars. If we go and click on that, you can see it has really no threat to land at all. It is expected to die down as it kind of reaches into um, cooler water. So that's some good news there. So no threat to land from Hurricane Elida there. But that's not the only system to watch here. You got two other systems, disturbances here, and actually make that three. Um, you got disturbance number two, got 70% chance in the next 5 days there. Pretty low, 10% in the next 48 hours, however. Then you have the disturbance number one, 30% chance for the next 48 hours. However, there is a 70% chance in the next 5 days. Then you got this one right here, which has a decent chance of developing as well. Not expected to develop in the next 48 hours, but it's expected has a 40% chance of developing in the next 5 days. So the Eastern Pacific's got really active. In the Central Pacific here, there's that same one with disturbance number one. So we're going to keep an eye on that very closely. But the Eastern Pacific, man, hasn't really got quite active there. And let's kind of look into the Atlantic here. You can see here we got an this is Invest 95L, but for some news here with the system here, Tropical Tibbets does not have the forecast models and stuff for Invest 95L. However, I did find a picture from the spaghetti models on Twitter, which I'll show you guys that in a moment. But we'll be able to see the European model GFS thoughts on it, but 90% chance in the next 48 hours and 5 days there. So this system here is expected to develop, develop here in the next 48 hours here. And when you look into models here, it looks like that the majority of the hurricane models is bringing this to tropical storm status. So we can see this expected becoming a tropical storm, but the biggest question is it going to have a threat to land? So far, the United States here doesn't really have quite a threat for land right now. However, the Lesser Antilles, Puerto Rico, those areas there need to keep an eye on the system here very closely. So let's first talk about this system here, Invest 95L. So this is the European model. Really, at this point here, it's showing wind, tropical storm winds probably maxing out 30 miles per hour. Here's the Lesser Antilles. There's Puerto Rico. If we move it to Thursday evening, you can see how it kind of pushes along eastward there, and you kind of continue on there. And really, it doesn't really gain any intensity that much, which I kind of disagree with. Here, you got pretty warm waters. Let's back that up for a moment. There we go. Showing 38-mile-per-hour winds. That's about tropical storm right there. You can see here, it's going to get very close to the Lesser Antilles here. European model has it missing just to the north there. You can see here, it's showing a pretty small tropical system here from the European model. And the GFS also shows it as well. And I believe that's it right there. You can see the GFS again just about misses it to the north. Here's the European model. Let's look into the winds here. This is sustained winds. You can see the models are pretty similar, but I think this is a little bit underdone here. Um, you can see here kind of how the GFS misses pretty much everything to the north except for the Turks and Caicos Islands. Here's the European model, and it seems like it dies out nearby, just north of Dominican Republic there. So, again, like I said, it doesn't look like no threat to the United States for right now, but that can change. and if tracks could change, you can see here. I found this. This is the hurricane model. So you can see the majority of them is going to miss Puerto Rico and the Lesser Antilles to the north. So that's some good news for those guys there. Although some storm surge is possible there for some of those areas there, and that's probably pretty much it for those guys, at least for the threat from Invest 95L. And again here, tropical tidbits, I do not have, the hurricane models for tropical tidbits. I don't know why it's not been added yet or anything here, but all we do have is Hurricane Eldela here. You can see here, it's actually a low-end category 2 there. And again, no threat to land as well with it. And I forgot to add this here. Let's go to the GFS model here. See, let's kind of look into the reasoning why this is going to die out here. So one thing we'll probably look into is wind shear. I also forgot to put this up here. And there is actually some wind shear currently, north of Puerto Rico. And your system should be starting to come onto the screen. There it is right there. Some of that wind shear actually kind of gets into circulation and pretty much dies out in that wind shear. So definitely something to watch here. And I believe around the same time frame, there's going to be a big trough moving into the eastern United States. I mean, this is a very strong trough. I think we're going to make another video about this trough here because it's looking to be a very strong trough moving into the eastern United States. So that'd be something to really watch for there. But we'll do that in a different video. But it seems like GFS is gonna. The reasoning of it dying is because of some wind shear there. And the ENSO right now is still looking neutral. So although that may change in the fall, looking into a La Nina. If you guys haven't seen the latest National Hurricane Center's forecast, which I do not have it pulled up on here, they're expecting this to be probably about as bad as the 2005 hurricane season. And the most memorable one from 2005 hurricane season was Katrina that hit New Orleans there. So not a good situation there. So maybe potentially reaching near records for the Atlantic. This is for the Atlantic. So we're going to look it to be a extremely busy hurricane season ahead of us. So that's very unfortunate there. And this is looking to be our next system here, which starts with a J there. Josephine. Josephine. I think that's how you pronounce it. That'll be our next named storm for Invest 95L here. If it does become a tropical storm, which I think has a pretty decent chance of becoming one there. Let's take a look into if there's any like dry air that can, take this thing out, and it doesn't seem like it. It doesn't seem like dry air won't be an issue for the system. However, it seems like it does run into a little bit of dry air out ahead of us here. But overall, dry air doesn't seem to be really a problem with the system here. It's also gotten pretty organized as well. But another thing to notice here is the Bermuda high. This is what is going to steer the system here. So if it gets stronger here, it may able to get into like Cuba, Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, the Bahamas. If it gets weaker, it may miss you guys a little bit further to north. It may actually have no threat to land at all. So that's definitely something to really keep an eye on, though. Although, let's go back to the Eastern Pacific here, where it's looking to be extremely active here. Well, not really extreme. You can see here goes Hurricane Eldela right there, slowly dying down. You got a couple of systems right here you need to watch for, and then a larger system there. And as we kind of continue on here, you got multiple tropical systems here, and this is interesting right here. Whoops, I don't know why I've done that. Now this is what they have a 40% chance over the next 5 days here. This is the system that has a 5% chance for the next 5 days. You can see here, This could become a hurricane, at least from the European model standpoint. 64-mile-per-hour winds. Yeah, at this point here, this is a hurricane right here, and it seems like it still gains intensity there. So that's your sustained one, 70 miles per hour. If we turn on wind gusts, 127. So that's close to Category 3 strength for wind gusts there. So that'd be really definitely something to keep an eye on. If we look into the GFS model here, it's actually showing us to be a big time system as well. So that'd be actually be definitely something to watch here. That actually may become a major hurricane right there. If we turn on wind gusts, kind of somewhere there, 120 miles per hour. I think the biggest concerning with this here is going to be the track because the European model has it closer. Meanwhile, the GFS has it further out and stronger. It actually hits one of the islands right there, which I do not know what that's called. But that is really definitely something to watch there. And keep in mind, this is not the Atlantic. This is the Eastern Pacific. This is Mexico right there. So that'd be definitely really something to watch here. And this will likely change some because this is a little far out. But anyways, guys, this is all for you guys today. Hope you guys did enjoy this tropical update. If you guys would like this tropical update, hit that like button. If you really do like my channel, hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell notifications so you never miss an upload. If you got some questions about this, you can put in the comment section down below. I'll answer your guys' questions. I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.